Wanyanyekova met Obe, and discussed what to do with the dead. Later that night, Wanyanyekova was sitting down as Obe stood up. "Obe, have you discovered your gift yet?" Obe said. "No, but I've been fasting and training. When it comes, I guess it will come." Wanyanyekova took out his Colt 45 and shot Obe. Obe yelled, "What'd you do that for?" Wanyanyekova said, "A few times I've seen you hit and stabbed and you didn't even know it, and Sabaoth never showed me in any vision of harm coming to you. Plus, look at you. You've been standing in a pile of burning red-hot coals for at least 10 minutes, and you didn't say a word, and by the way, when I shot you, you didn't feel a thing, you just reacted to me shooting you." He grabbed the bullet from off the ground and gave it to him. "And one more thing." Tapping on his earpiece, "Joan, bring de Karish." Grace approached them with the baby. "Here is your kinsman. May he grows up to be your greatest gift, a son." Obe was excited and happy and started crying, as Wanyanyekova walked away and started praising Sabaoth. Later that day, Wanyanyekova called everyone together. "It is now time to enter the abyss." Many stayed on top and watched as Wanyanyekova and 50 of his men descended to the first level, leaving 10 of his men. Then the second level, where he left 10 more, and on to the third level. Wanyanyekova, looking around, noticed the place had been clean, and there was no evidence that anything had ever been down there. On the third level, they came to what appeared to be a door made of boulders with a sign of an unknown language. "Hades," Amardad interpreted. "The language." Wanyanyekova got on the communicator to the men on each level above them. "Gather up anything we missed and start setting charges to blow this damn place to kingdom come." As they all began looking for levers and switches to see if they could find a way to open the door, Obe started hitting the door with his hands. Still nothing. Wanyanyekova orders everyone to stop. "I have an idea." He took the sand from around his neck and grabbed his canteen. He put 1 drop of the content into the canteen and ordered everyone to wipe their weapons with it, and then wipe their exposed skin with it. Obe wiped his hands, arms, and neck with the content from the canteen and just touched the door, which turned into a puff of smoke. "Well, that was easy," said Obe. A narrow stairway appeared. They all headed down, but Wanyanyekova stopped the men. "Only my strongest warriors in Sabaoth will be able to come, for I fear that what is down here is truly demonic." His strongest, fearless, and ready warriors stood there: Obe, Grace, Mercy, Joy, Joan, Elijah, Elisha, Daniel, and Aldib, with Wanyanyekova taking the lead. The stairway was 5 feet wide and was spiraling downward. Strange noises were surrounding them, and every few feet hung torches mounted to the cave's walls. A liquefied substance was oozing down the walls, and the smell was unbearable. As they reached the bottom of the stairway, there was an enormous pit 200 yards wide and a forever circle of darkness, followed by a level of boiling red fiery pit of lava. This pattern repeatedly continued, going deeper and deeper downward. Looking up, they saw the same pattern repeating itself upward. As they walked through the darkness, they could hear a sizzling sound, followed by screams. Reaching for their flashlights, they saw little hands. Some were claws touching them and turning into puffs of smoke as the warriors were being handled. Wanyanyekova said, "They cannot even touch the blood of Mshika in the sand." Pointing their flashlights in different areas, they could see the faces of some of the hideous creatures, peeking out and looking at them. The sounds of movement surrounded them, and they were silent as they headed down, looking and observing when Aldib said, "I see why people say, 'Go to hell.'" Joan said, "Only you would say such a thing, in a time like this." Shrugging his shoulders, Aldib said, "No, I'm being for real. This place is horrible." Wanyanyekova interrupted. "Focus! This is a place one must truly stay focused and remain in the spirit." They walked to the end of the cavern, where they found a mound of rocks at the edge. There was an opening that looked like a large well. There stood a face with only its eyes peeking out at them. "What the fuck are you doing in here again, Wanyanyekova?" Wanyanyekova said. "Again?" Then he thought about his dream he had years ago. The creature interrupted. "Fuck that, get out!" As he raised from the hole, It stood 10 feet tall, and it was hideous. Horns grew out of its head, and bear-like claws grew out of its hand. It shouted something, and thousands of minions of all sizes quickly surrounded them.